Lily. It's a late one again. It's 9:15 at night, and the 11th of the 2nd. Today we're reading the tale of Jeremy Fisher. It's a Beatrix Potter, based on the original and authorised edition. The Tale of Mr. Jeremy Fisher. Once upon a time, there was a frog called Mr. Jeremy Fisher. He lived in a little damp house amongst the buttercups at the edge of the pond. The water was all slippy sloppy in the larder, and sloppy in the larder, and in the back passage. But Mr. Jeremy liked getting his feet wet. Nobody ever scolded him, and he never caught a cold. There's Mr. Fisher. Oops. He was quite pleased when he looked out and saw large drops of rain splashing in the pond. I will get some worms and go fishing and catch a dish of minnows for my dinner. Minnows. For my dinner, said Jeremy Fisher. If I catch more than 5 fish, I will invite my friends Mr. Alderman Ptolemy Tortoise and Sir Isaac Newton, the alderman. However, eat salad. He's digging for worms there and looks busy. Mr. Jeremy put on a mackintosh and a pair of shiny goloshes. He took his rod and basket and set off with an enormous hops to the place where he kept his boat. The boat was round and green and very like the other lily leaves. It was tied to a water plant in the middle of the pond. Camera's frozen right there. Don't know why it's doing it. There he is. Mr. Jeremy took a reed pole and pushed the boat out onto the open water. I know a good place for minnows, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. Mr. Jeremy stuck his pole into the mud and fastened it to his boat. Then he settled himself cross-legged and arranged his fishing tackle. He had the dearest little red float. His rod was a tough stalk of grass. His line was a fine long white horsehair, and he tied a little wriggling worm to the end. There he is. He's getting set up there, Lily. Day of fishing for Mr. Fisher. The rain trickled down his back, and for nearly an hour he stared at the float. This is getting tiresome, I think. I should like some lunch, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. He punted back again amongst the water plants and took lunch out of his basket. I will eat a butterfly sandwich and wait till the shower is over, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. It's not very nice. I wouldn't like a butterfly sandwich. A great big water beetle came up underneath the lily leaf and tweaked the toe of one of his goloshes. Mr. Jeremy crossed his legs up shorter, out of reach, and went on eating his sandwich. Once or twice something moved about with a rustle and a splash amongst the rushes. Oh, God. At the side of the pond. I trust that is not a rat, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. I think I had better get away from here. Mr. Jeremy shoved the boat out again, little way, and dropped in the bait. There was a bite almost directly. The float gave a tremendous bobbit. A minnow, I have him by the nose, cried Mr. Jeremy Fisher, jerking up his rod. But what a horrible surprise. Instead of a smooth fat minnow, Mr. Jeremy had landed Jack Sharp, the stickleback, covered with spines. The stickleback floundered about on the boat, pricking and snapping until he was quite out of breath. Then he jumped back into the water. Got a shock there. And a shoal of other fishes put their heads out and laughed at Mr. Jeremy Fisher. And while Mr. Jeremy sat disconsolately on the edge of his boat, sucking his sore finger and peering down into the water, a much worse thing happened. A really frightful thing it would have been if Mr. Jeremy had not been wearing his Macintosh. Macintosh is another word for Apple products. Oh! A great big enormous trout came up, kerflop with a splash, and it seized Mr. Jeremy with a snap. Ow, 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 and then it turned and dived down to the bottom of the pond. But the trout was so displeasant with the taste of the Macintosh that in less than half a minute spat him out again, and the only thing it swallowed was Mr. Jeremy's Golo cheese. Oh, there's a big old fish. You've got Mr. Fisher there. Mr. Jeremy bounced up to the surface of the water like a cork, and the bubbles out of the soda of a water bottle, and he swam with all his might to the edge of the pond. He scrambled out on the first bank he came to and hopped home across the meadow with his Macintosh all in tatters. What a mercy that was not a pike, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. I have lost my rod and basket, but it does not matter, for I am sure I should not have dared to go fishing again. He put sticking plaster on his fingers, and his friends both came to dinner. He could not offer them fish, but he had something else in his larder. Sir Isaac Newton wore his black and gold waistcoat. There's his friends. And Mr. Alman Ptolemy Tortoise brought a salad with him in a string bag. And instead of a nice dish of minnows, they had roasted grasshopper with ladybird sauce, which frogs considered a beautiful treat, but I think it must have been nasty. That is the end. And that was the tale of Jeremy Fisher. And that's another Beatrix Potter on out the way. We've got 3 more from Beatrix here. There's the tale of Flopsy Bunnies. The tale of Tiggy Winkle. And the tale of Jemima Puddleduck. I think we'll read Jemima Puddleduck tomorrow, but for now, I think Dad's going to get himself away to bed. I hope you have a good sleep and you're sleeping well. We really loved Lily. I hope you've had a nice day, and I hope everyone's okay. Dad's gonna see you soon, so I love you lots, and I wish you a good night's sleep, and God blesses you, all of you. Thank you for watching.